Hi, this is jeng, and today we're going to be talking about how to complete your personal financial statement. And so we're going to talk about why it matters, the sections of it, and then summarize into, how to put this together. So to start off, why do you need to fill out a personal financial statement? Personal financial statement, there's really two things that the banker is going to be looking for. They're going to look at the total net worth of the sponsorship group. So that could just be you if you're buying a deal on your own, or if you are combining forces with other people. Anyone signing on the loan, they're going to add up their total net worth and compare that to the loan amount, and it needs to be greater than the loan amount. And then the total liquidity of the sponsorship group needs to be greater than 10% of the loan amount. So let's just take a $5 million property. Let's say you get a $4 million loan and $1 million in equity. $4 million loan, so your net worth needs to be greater than $4 million, and your liquidity needs to be 400,000 or higher. So let's jump into the sections. So we got cash, note receivable, life insurance, stocks and bonds, non-retirement, retirement accounts, note payables, REO, and then other liabilities, Schedule 8. So let me show you an example. So this is like a typical personal financial statement template. You can definitely request these on the website. And just to get started, the summary is really just it is fed from all the other tabs. So the summary is sort of a locked tab, but we're going to go through all these different pages. So Schedule 1 is your deposit account, Schedule 2 note receivable, Schedule 3 life insurance, Schedule 4 stocks and bonds, Schedule 5 your retirement, Schedule 6 notes payable. And you flip over to page 3. This is your real estate owned category. And so we'll go through this in more detail, and then your partial ownership in real estate. So this could be maybe like limited partnership, interest, things that you don't own 100%. And then page 4 and 5 are just sort of your yes, no questions that we're not going to really get into. So the main pages are the summary, page 2 and page 3. So let's jump over back to the PowerPoint. All right. So the first thing is your deposit accounts, right? So this is just your basic checking and savings, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, what's your balance in those? Put those in. You can combine some of those if needed. So that's Schedule 1. Schedule 2 is your note receivable. So if some people do like lease carrybacks, or they might have a few rental houses here where they're carrying the note. So you can put that in here. Schedule 3 is your life insurance. So this is where people mess up a little bit. So if you have a term life insurance, right, you pay a premium, and then if you happen to die or your spouse dies, you receive the face amount of the policy. You put nothing in for cash surrender value, because if you stop paying that, you receive nothing and you can't pull any cash out. But if you have a whole life insurance policy, then there's a cash surrender value to that. And so you can put that in as part of your net worth. Schedule 5 is going to be your 401k, your Roth IRAs, those types of things. Put in the net plan value there, and that will total back up to the summary. And then note payable. So if you have maybe a car loan, so this one we have about 20,000 just for a car here as well. And then so your real estate owned tab. First thing is your homestead. So your homestead counts in your net worth. Some people get this sometimes confused. The definition of accredited investor does not include your primary residence, but here for your net worth, it does. So put in your market value and then any debt related to that. Second category right here, the duplex and fourplex. We have the market value here, and then your present debt across the two properties. So those you own 100%. And then we drop down to partial ownership in real estate. This could be limited partnership interest, your syndication. The easiest thing on this form is really to just put in the amount of equity that you put in the deal. If the property has, let's say you put it in 5 years ago and the property value is doubled, then maybe you can increase that to reflect the market value. But a lot of times, if you've just done a syndication, maybe 1, 2, 3 years into it, if there hasn't been a ton of change in the value, I would just probably put the amount that you invested in the deal. Schedule 8 is your other liabilities. So this can be things like student loans, what your current balance is, maybe credit cards, anything like that has come up. So now once you sort of put all those inputs in the various tabs, so I already filled it in here. So once you fill in sort of page 2 and 3 with the different with the different items that we went over to. You can come back to the summary tab, and this is what I showed on the PowerPoint. And it's going to summarize it all for you. And so the things that, so we talked about the reason they have you fill this out is they look at your total net worth of the sponsorship group. So down in the green box is about 1.5 for this particular example. And that needs to be greater than the loan amount, right? So on this property, if they're trying to buy this $5 million property, you're still short $2.5 million. And so you still need somebody else to sign with you with a net worth of at least $2.5 million. And then the liquidity piece, right? So they need on a $4 million loan, you need 400,000 in liquidity. So they have this on the liquidity piece, right? So if they're not going to put down a big down payment, then they have enough liquidity to qualify for this loan. But most people are going to need the net worth and liquidity, as in most banks, most lenders are going to need you to have the net worth and liquidity covered. So the things here in red, sort of your cash in accounts, your cash value, life insurance, and then your other stocks and bonds. So this is just marketable securities outside of retirement. And so usually we count the cash on hand and potentially the stocks and bonds, but very rarely do we actually have to get into the net cash value on the life insurance. So that's how you fill out the PFS. You can get a form from the website and request it there. And so just a little background on me, born and raised in Houston, went to school in Austin at UT, and I've been in DFW since 2006. I was an underwriter at G Capital, doing all types of commercial properties for 8 years, and then have been really a multifamily lender the last 5 years, focused in on over 125 properties, sort of Class B, Class C, across the nation. And I've also invested in 6,000 units in DFW, Austin, and San Antonio. So if you have any questions, definitely subscribe to the channel, like and share this video, and you can join the email list at txmultifamily.com. And if you have any questions about, buying, selling, refinancing your next multifamily property, set up some time to talk with me. And the first thing that I'm going to ask you for is a PFS. So complete your personal financial statement and set up some time with me. Thanks a lot.